Thank you very much. I'm honored to be part of this, should I say, prestigious program that brings together us professionals and our colleagues over there who are students or who are looking to pursue some careers in this space. So thank you very much for taking your time to listen to me. And I had to wake up very early in the morning so that I can be with you. I would have wanted to be there in person in Lusaka, but unfortunately, it's the work that we do. And I hope what I'm going to say here is going to inspire some people, and hopefully we can have many of you joining us as lawyers in this conservation space. So not to waste your time, my name has already been said. I'm called Mehluli Batakathi. I'm a lawyer. I'm a legal practitioner there in Zambia. I'm an advocate of the superior courts. I'm currently a partner at a private law firm in Lusaka. Yeah, so I am in private practice. And I'm also a director and co-founder of an NGO called Conservation Advocates Zambia. I'm sure some of you have heard about it. I'm also a part-time lecturer at the University of Zambia's Institute of Distance Education, and I teach constitutional law and administrative law to undergraduate students. I also, I really don't like talking about myself because I'll take long talking, but I've been asked by the organizers to talk about it, so I hope I don't bore you. I'm also a member of the Law Association of Zambia's Climate Change Task Force, and also in the Public Interest and Human Rights Committee. And I also sit on the panel of experts for the South African-based Institute for Strategic Litigation. So right now, I'm a 2023-2024 Hubert H. Humphrey Fellow, specializing in law and human rights at the American University, Washington College of Law in Washington, D.C. That's where I am right now. And my focus is on environmental law and constitutionalism. So yeah, that's pretty much about me. I have a degree in lands and water resources management, which is a Bachelor of Science honors degree. And I also have an LLB, a Bachelor of Laws, and also a Master of Laws degree. So before I started my journey into law, before I became a lawyer, because law is not my first degree, it's actually my second degree. My first profession was, I worked for the University of Zambia as a research scientist. Can you believe it? I don't think you can, but yes, that's what I did. And I also worked in the private sector as a consultant, as a groundwater consultant for about 8 years. And our work in groundwater management actually led to the enactment of the development of the Water Resources Management Act as it is now, and the setting up of the institution called WAMA. And that was a long time ago. I think between 2012 and 2013, that's when we were pitching the concept to the then Ministry of Local Government. That seems like a long time ago. Then in 2012, I enrolled for a Bachelor of Laws, and in 2016, I graduated and went to Ziale soon afterwards. The following year, I was called to the bar. That was in 2017. So I have been a lawyer since 2017, and I have been doing a lot of constitutional matters, a lot of public interest litigation, a lot of matters around elections and human rights. Those of you who follow this news will know a bit about it. And then in 2020, when I was doing one of my cases for my clients, which is Kasanka National Park, that's when I developed an interest in this whole conservation business. Like the previous speaker spoke, Chilekwa, some of these things, you are inspired by real life events. So in 2020, myself and 3 other colleagues, we decided to set up Conservation Advocates Zambia, which is an NGO, and governmental organization, which really is centered on using the power of the law, the tool of the law, because we are lawyers and we need to use the law. And we realize that we need to use the law to bring about systemic change and to influence policies and actions of individuals and corporations in trying to conserve our environment for present and future generations. So to echo what the previous speaker said, we realized that there was a lot of impunity and a lot of unaccountability with regards to mining houses, commercial farms, and other businesses that you can think about, which were causing a lot of environmental degradation around us. And something needs to be done. And so we set up that organization, and as you may know, from 2021, the whole of 2022. So let me just say, in 2021, we resurrected the seemingly dead Lower Zambezi issue. Because if you remember at that time, there was talk that the courts had already decided the matter was dead, the mine would be going ahead. So in 2021, we resurrected the matter, and the whole of 2022, it was a back and forth between ourselves, conservation advocates, and a coalition of other NGOs, including WCP, WWF, and a host of all others. We resurrected the matter, and we spent the whole of 2022 engaging with ZEMA, going to this court and that court. And it's only recent, a few weeks ago, that ZEMA actually stopped the project. But that's not an end in itself. There are a lot of matters that need courageous people like you and me to take up the mantle and try and conserve this environment that we have. So I think that's all I can say at this point. And I would want to hear from you guys if you have any questions for me. But in terms of careers, because this is what we are here for, in terms of careers in the conservation space, I'm a lawyer and I am working in that space. So you can also be a lawyer, go to law school, go to Ziale, and then you start practicing. So lawyers practice in law firms. So the first career option that you can have as a lawyer in conservation is if you work for a law firm, for a private law firm. Most private law firms have clients who litigate in this space, and some of their clients are companies, human beings, or NGOs. And then you can also be a lawyer in the government. As you may be aware that there is a fully fledged Ministry of Green Economy and Environment. So they have lawyers there. You can also be a lawyer in the Ministry of Justice, the people who draft our laws and the Attorney General's chambers. And also, you can also work in international organizations like the United Nations, SADC, African Union, European Union. They also have strong environmental programs. And also, you can also work in an NGO or set up your own NGO like what I have done. But this all stems up from one thing that I need you guys to know, is that from July 2022, which is last year, the UN General Assembly recognized the right to a clean and safe environment as a fundamental human right. So what does this mean? It means that this right is intrinsically connected to the right to life. and falls under what we call economic and social rights. So that recognition by the UN that it is a right to have a clean and safe environment for every human being on this planet. Now, thrusts into the spotlight the work of lawyers. So where you have human rights, then you need lawyers, because lawyers are the defenders of human rights. So you can be a human rights lawyer who is pushing or who is advocating the defense of the right to a clean and safe environment for present and future generations. And also, the other career you can have is to be an activist like Chilekwa, who has just left the stage. He's an activist, so you might consider that as a career, but then, yeah, that's one of the careers you can do. So as you can see, there are a lot of things that you can do in this space, and you cannot say just because you're a lawyer, you're supposed to be sitting in a boardroom, or you're supposed to be in court putting on wigs and gowns. Actually, some of us who are lawyers even march. I think last year we had a protest where we marched and went to Parliament and presented a petition. So advocacy and activism is part of the job, and you find out that this is a space where you're going to come up with against big players. You're going to ruffle a lot of feathers. You're going to come up with people with big money who can do anything to put you off your stride. So number one, this is not an area for the faint-hearted, or an area for those who can easily be shaken. So you need to stick to your guns, because what you're doing can land you in the crosshairs of certain people who might not like what you're doing. I've heard the previous person say that he was arrested and put in cells. So part of our job is also to defend those who defend the environment. So we also, as lawyers, have to defend those activists and fight for their rights. So I'll leave it at that.